What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? Welcome to Conversation Piece, the show where we dig deep into the thing that makes Indianapolis one of the best cities in the world, the people. My name is Patrick Armstrong. I am your host, and I am excited to be back here with y'all for episode 148. We've been doing it. All right, before we start, a couple shout-outs. Shout out to Draft Creative Space for hosting us. That's where we are right now. Quick PSA for the people sitting in the grass. Right now, you are maybe feeling a little bit of a sink. It's been rainy the last couple days, so the ground's a little bit soft, but that is so we can aerate the grass. You're actually helping to make that grow better. So thank y'all for sitting in the grass. This is our first show that we've done outside, too. This is something that we did our first show here in August last year. And John Overton, my sound guy over there, said that he would love to do a show outside. And we've finally been able to make it happen. So as long as the weather holds for the rest of the summer, maybe the fall, we're going to be outside. So, secondly, shout out to Tinker Street for feeding us. That is where you're getting your food from right now. Shout out to Tinker Street. Gavin, Jordan, Chef Michael, shout out to y'all. If you've been here, you've probably seen Chef Tyler around, and maybe once or twice his partner Claire. They would be here tonight, but they can't because they just had a baby like 2 weeks ago. So shout out to them. Shout out to them. Amanda Gibson is not here, but Indy Dough, shout out to Indy Dough for our treats. That is where these Rice Krispies are coming from, so make sure you can walk away with one of those. Shout out to Ash and Elm Cider for quenching our thirst with the ciders tonight. Shout out to Sarah Silcox and Connection Club Indy. She is the person activating in the front of the room when you come in. We have a board up asking you what your favorite album is right now. It's like 3/4 filled, so let's fill that thing up for the rest of the night. Shout out to DJ China for setting the vibe. This is the first month that we are bringing DJs into the experience, so we're going to continue to elevate that experience here in 2026, and she's kicking it off for us this year. Shout out to Frida's Flowers, Madeline McKinnon, also not here, but she's been a sponsor of the show for a minute. She sourced this beautiful plant for us that Taylor can take home with her when the show is over. And last but not least, hopefully next month we will have some cool banner thing hanging up behind me. But Life in Indy, shout out to them for making it possible for me to do all of these things this year with the show. If you came last year, you know that we had food, we had some beverages, we had dessert. But Life in Indy's made it possible for me to take it up to the next level and involve more people, build more community, and build this thing up with them. So shout out to them. All right. As far as this particular show is concerned, we're going to have our conversation. And then after the convo, there's going to be a little bit of a stage setup here. And during that stage setup time, we're going to do a quick Q&A with you, the audience. And then Taylor's going to bless us with a little set. So you're in for a real treat. And we're taking it all the way up this month. And then we will close it out with the giveaway. The giveaway, real quick, is this package. So in here is the gift card for $300 to Tinker Street. There's also 3 other gift cards, $50 each to Indie CD and Vinyl, Square Cat, and Luna Music. There are also 3 records in here by 3 of Taylor's favorite artists. So whoever wins the giveaway, you will walk away with this. This is what your $15 gets you, in addition to all the other stuff that you got out there. So does all that sound good? All right, let's do it. My guest today wears many hats: writer, songwriter, guitarist, vocalist, musician, actor, activist, artivist, organizer, hooper, leader, friend, daughter, mom. When she isn't in the lab creating, she's probably out supporting a number of people or organizations doing great work in this city, which to me, when I see, just reaffirms what a truly incredible human being she is. And in the wild chaos that is this life, she has managed to find ways to get all of it done. I want to give as much time as I can to this conversation, so I will tarry no further. Please join me in welcoming the one and only Taylor Hall to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you guys for coming.
We're here. I actually forgot to introduce you by the name I meant to introduce you by, which is Tay Mamba.
The Kobe Tot.
The Kobe Tot. I was meant to ask you, like, where does that nickname come from? Where does that originate?
I was one of the biggest Kobe fans growing up. His philosophy of there's 24 hours in a day, and how are you going to utilize those? I still live by today, and like I use every hour like it's my last. And I played basketball, so I used to hoop in Kobe's and custom Kobe's all the time. And when I was at an AAU tournament one day, someone was like, "You're a young Mamba, you're a Mamba." And I was like, "Tay Mamba." And it stuck all through middle school, high school. I think I just changed my @name like last year. I was like, okay, I'm a little bit older now. I don't hoop no more. People should know me by Taylor Hall and not Tay Mamba.
I like it. Tay Mamba's still fitting, I think. Like you said, you use it every hour of the day, and I listed off all of those different things that you be doing. That's a lot of stuff. In addition to all of those titles and things that I shared, I was wondering for folks who don't know who you are, if you mind just sharing a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Taylor Hall. I'm from here, Indianapolis, Indiana. I grew up in Pike Township. I went to Crispus Attucks High School. I played a lot of sports growing up and grew up around music. My dad in the back, I always give him a shout out. He comes to everything. I grew up with a studio in my house, so I had the opportunity to grow up around music, songwriting. I started songwriting when I was 13 years old and released my first song back in 2020 during the Black Lives Matter movement here about standing for love, not hate. And that kind of kicked off my journey into advocacy and music.
Love it. In getting ready for this conversation, I was watching some of your YouTube videos, and you did a lot of or not a lot, but you did some day in the life ones, like for some of the videos that you were getting ready to drop. And there was one for Streetlights, and there's a moment where you're just kind of chilling on a futon, you're just jamming out and singing. And I was like, damn, that is like some effortless singing, like vocalizing. And I was wondering when you first realized like that you could like really sing. Not just like you singing like I'm doing in the shower or in the car, but like sing.
Probably like within the last like 2 to 3 years.
Okay, so this is recent.
Very, very recent, because I think a lot of people can casually sing, but it wasn't until I was like around a lot of like songwriters and artists out in LA, and they were like, "Man, like you have range for real," that I realized like, oh, I can actually sing and like hit different notes, because I would just sing kind of passively versus like really trying and really like trying to do different things with my voice.
What did that affirmation like feel like? What did that trigger for you when you heard like that from other people?
It made me realize like I really have it. Like I really have a gift and should keep doing it. Like I do it for myself, and I'll always do it for myself, like writing and making music, but it made me want to continue to release it and give it to others.
I love it. So you mentioned your pops. You mentioned coming from like a family of musicians and musically inclined individuals. We talked about it a little bit when we met a couple weeks ago. I was wondering, not that I think my kid's ever going to be a podcaster or anything like that, and I don't really feel like I have a lineage of something that I need to like carry through, but I was thinking about what it means to like pass through stuff. And I was interested in if it ever feels like, because your family is so like musically inclined, if it feels like a responsibility to keep creating and like moving that forward.
Not at all.
Okay.
My dad never like made me go to the studio or do different things with music. Like I never thought I would be an artist. Like I started writing music when I was like 13 just for fun, and he would listen to it. And sometimes I'd record it for fun, but it was never like, oh, I want to be an artist. It was kind of, I put the song out back in 2020, and then it caught fire and was in DC and LA and meeting with labels and all types of artists. And I was like, okay, I guess I should do this. But it was never like, oh, you have to do this, or, oh, keep doing this. Writing is like my therapy. So I do it for myself.
I love it. You shared that your son is already starting to get into his music bag a little bit. Talk about like what it means to see that coming out of him, and thinking about like this non-pressure of like not having to feel the pressure, not wanting to pass on the pressure, I guess, of him like kind of carrying on the lineage of song creation and music. I
would probably do what my parents did for me and just give him the tools to be successful, but not force it. Like if you want to do something, you have to give it your all and you have to practice. Like right now, he's not even 2 and he's wanting to sing and play the drums, and like he sings my songs that are unreleased. Like he's not even 2 and he's like singing unreleased songs of mine and singing like some Don Toliver and like learning songs so fast. He knows his ABCs too, but like he's learning stuff so fast. So it's like if he wants to do that or if he wants to play sports, I'm gonna give him all the tools necessary to be the best at it. But it's not like forced. Like do what makes you happy.
Yeah. What were you listening to growing up? Like, well, who were your biggest influences outside of the household?
Lauryn Hill, Kareem Bailey Rae, Norah Jones, a lot of singer-songwriters, Tracy Chapman, and that made me want to like be really intentional when it came to songwriting and playing and singing.
Was there ever anybody, just so out of them, like, was there ever anybody that you were trying to like, maybe not aspire to be, but like, and maybe not emulate, but just like, I don't know, just like, you're like, that is a journey that I could see myself going on?
Definitely Lauryn Hill. Just, I'm like super calm and I'll play and sing the guitar, and then just her advocacy work too. And like in her music, she talked a lot about rebelling and standing up for something and things that were going on in the time and making timestamps with what's going on, and just, yeah. Yeah,
I love it. The idea, I think, of family, we talked about family and community before, and I feel like the idea of family and keeping family and people close to you goes beyond just like the people in your immediate family and really reaches out into like your neighborhood, the place you are geographically. You were in California for a little bit and you came back. And I was wondering, like, why is community so important to you? And like, what brought you back here and made you tap back into community in that way?
I think community and just being around one another is just so important for our mental health. It's like being on our phones all the time is not the way that society was supposed to be. Like I hate media, but I have to use it because I'm an artist. But like human connection, just sitting down, having a conversation with somebody, tapping in, like can mean so much. And in LA, I built a huge, like I say, I might know more people in LA than I do here. And I know a lot of people here, but just like having that friendship, having those people to support you through your creative pursuits and like you support them and like equally showing up for each other. Like you see somebody doing their passion, like you should do everything you can to support that and invest in that. Cause it's like, this is what you love. Like I love to see my friends doing what they love. I love to see them singing or dancing or riding or doing whatever the thing is that makes them happy.
I love it. You said writing, but it kind of sounded like you said rioting, which I also love because I feel like we just need a little bit more of that, like in your face protesting, you know, like, and just like making it happen. So so tell me a little bit more about, because we didn't really talk a lot about it, but like the experience of California, like making the decision to go out there and then also pursue this dream of, maybe not dream, but this like passion for creating.
Yeah. I'm going to name drop. I never name drop. But when this is my introduction to music. I released one song. In June of 2020, I flew to LA in July or August for the March on Washington, was with Martin Luther King Jr.'s son and granddaughter, Al Sharpton, singing on the streets. Then somehow Stevie Wonder heard my song. He's like, I love your music. I want to sign you. Come to LA. I fly to LA. I'm in the studio. But the biggest studio I've ever been to. I just started making music like a month ago. I had just released a song. And he's like, oh, I want to sign you, like move to LA, all these things. So I finished college because I was at Ball State at the time. Moved to LA. Called him. He was like, oh, I'm busy. It's been the runaround for the last couple of years. But that was like my introduction was like, oh, like, these labels, these people want to sign you. So I was like, oh, let me go move out there and work with these people. Like Stevie calls you and tells you to move. You're going to be like, okay, like move. Sure. But I ended up meeting an amazing community of like writers and songwriters there, getting into acting and modeling and all the things. So
what was it like building that community in a new place and then really finding affirmation and pursuing other creative outlets?
I just felt so blessed to be able to, because it's hard to move somewhere new. But luckily, like within different spaces, like when you have cool events, you can meet people. So for me, I went to a writing camp 2 months not even 2 months. The month I moved to LA, I went to a songwriting camp for TV and film and met some of the most amazing musicians from like Berkeley, and worked with everybody and met like one of my favorite producers and songwriters there. And I had never like used a co-writer for anything. And like to this day, we're still building. And then from there, like meeting other people because producers or DJs there and they do every event, and then just finding community and finding people to build with there.
What's it like going from being like a solo songwriter to starting to collaborate on writing with somebody and creating songs that way?
It can be challenging if you don't find the right person, but luckily he is from a super diverse background. His name is Jean-Marc, and he's Jamaican and Trinidadian, and he's like traveled the world, and he's also a music therapist. So most of our sessions were laid out as really just like therapy sessions. He's like, "How are you today?" And I'm just like, "Oh, I'm okay." And I'm like, "Life could be better, wutiwa." And then we'll start talking about how we're feeling, and then we'll start making a song about whatever the tagline is, and that's how we write the song.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What cool stuff came out of those like sessions? Anything that you ever released or?
My whole project, Cheaper Than Therapy. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Cheaper Than Therapy is the name of my project that I released with him, and it came out last year, May of 2025.
What's it like to see a project like that come to fruition and then like reach the masses in a way that's not like I'm just messaging you like, "Hey, check out this song that I just made"?
It's beautiful. I think it still surprises me that people listen to my music. I think that's the imposter syndrome of being an artist, is like my drummer back there, music director Jalen, his daughter knows the words to all of my songs, and she'll just like sing them, and she'll know them better than me and come to rehearsal and sing them. And it's cool to see it like reach people. And then because a lot of my music is positive, like seeing people say these positive affirmations on their daily, or people saying like, "Oh, I listen to this every day."
Yeah.
It's crazy.
What's the best like piece of feedback that you feel like you've ever gotten from somebody since this project's come out?
Really just like the messages of like keep going, or when people tell me they listen to it every day, or that it's helped them get through a season or a challenging part of their life.
I love it. Okay, so moved to Cali in 2020. This is after you've released the song in 2020, part of the protest, which you had a hand in organizing here, one of the largest protests in the city of Indianapolis's history. I was wondering, like, thinking back on that time. Well, first off, like, what does it feel? What is it like to just step into a leadership role in an organizing space? Like, had you been doing that type of work specifically at that time?
Yeah, I've always been like in the nonprofit space. So like in high school, I was doing like doing what I do now, fundraising and like organizing. One time I skipped school to go to a Bernie Sanders rally, like back in 2016. I was probably like a junior. So like I've always like been political and cared about what was going on in my community. But I think finding the right people to get those messages out was key. So like I organized with a group of 7 other women in Indianapolis and founded a nonprofit. But we all had similar goals of like change and knowing what we wanted to see. And we all were from like different places of life. So
what was, like, looking back, do you remember like what your specific, like Taylor's specific hope coming out of that particular moment was?
Accountability, change, real change. So that led me to interning with Congressman Carson and wanting to get into politics and doing a lot of lobbying, legislation, and doing a lot of grassroots and nonprofit work. Really just anything that made direct impact versus like just talking about, like, you can protest all day, but like if you're not going to do anything to actually make a change, what's the point?
100%. Thinking about that moment now, 6 years on, like, how far forward or not forward do you think we've moved towards accountability as a city since then?
I think we've regressed so much in the last year to two. It's honestly heartbreaking. Like last year, I saw that some of the things that my organization helped implement, like banning the chokehold, body cams, different budgets that we did all that work for in 2020 was reversed like last year. And now they're like bringing it back to where you can do some of these excessive force things here.
From your perspective, why are we regressing in such a way? Like, I feel like people could watch the news and maybe guess, but I think there is a level of kind of removal or distance for some folks, that they may not understand like why, like they might not understand why we move backwards in that way.
White supremacy
Say
and
it.
our leadership and our government and who we've allowed to get into office and not caring about voting or just not caring about primaries. Primaries are May 5th. Go vote. Yeah.
Yep.
Now till May 5th. Go vote. Local elections. Yeah.
I've seen you canvassing with Carla Lopez Owens, friend of the show. And one of the things that she and I have talked about, one of the things that I became aware of because of Senator Hundley, future Mayor Hundley. Mayor. Mr. Mayor. I don't know if he's still here. Is that in the 2024 general election, we had 300,000 people, registered voters, not show up to vote in Marion County, and way more than that across the state. You talked about like not voting, not engaging civically in that way. White supremacy obviously hanging over all of that. Why do you think that Hoosiers have been disengaged in that way?
I think people just don't care more, and I think there's a lot more on people's mind, like the economy. Like gas is $4.70 right now. So like, did you guys see the gas prices today? Like it's $4.70, like $4.08, like it's insane. But people are dealing with so much in their day-to-day lives with like the economy, gas prices, cost of living, mental health, social media, data centers, all of these things that people don't think about going to vote, even though all of these things are directly correlated. Like people don't think about it, and there's not that many mainstream people that are like saying go vote. Like in 2020, it was kind of like it was like a thing. Like, oh, you want to make a difference? Go vote. We're registering people. Versus now, it's like, I hate this, but I'm not gonna do anything about it.
Yeah, it makes me think about like in 2008, that was the first election I could vote in, which Barack Obama got elected. And it was awesome. And it felt awesome at the time. But then it also felt like, myself included, it was just like, oh, okay, we did it. Like, we achieved equality. And now we're done. And like, I think part of the scourge of white supremacy is this complacency mindset. And like you said, like when people are struggling with so many different things all at the same time, generally, it can be hard to feel like you need to engage in that way. What have you seen from your organizing and activist and community work that like shows you the other path? You know, like the way that people, even though they're facing so much, can still show up.
Really just like smaller communities and grassroots communities like showing up for each other, whether it be like community food gardens that we have here, community libraries, smaller community events like at Flanner House, and smaller like community things that we have here in the city.
Yeah. You mentioned Flanner House. Anybody else like that you're really tapped in with, that you like the work that they're doing, that we should be supporting more?
Shout out to Walk Talk, saying all the history of Indiana. And that's important too, is like knowing where you come from makes you not repeat now. So like knowing where you're from, knowing the history of redlining, knowing the history of the city of Indianapolis directly impacts now, like knowing why things are the way they are in the city.
You also mentioned that like we can show up and rally together sometimes and do things, but if we don't continue that momentum forward, like what are we really doing?
Yeah.
And I think like that's been a criticism of the No Kings rallies, has been like, it's just one day's worth of organizing and there's not really a lot of strategy around it. And so I wanted to ask you, like, when, as somebody who has like done that work very deeply, when you see other people activating in that way, like what guidance would you give folks that are stepping into that space, that are trying to do those things, that are clearly galvanizing people to come together to do something? How do you, like, what advice do you give people to like continue that momentum, keep it moving forward?
Yeah, I would say clear action items and a clear strategy and a clear result. Like you can say, oh, no kings and show up in hot dog costumes and outfits and dress around and dance and party. But then it's like, what are we gaining from this? Like, what is the action item? Because that's still going to be our president for the next however many years. So it's like, what are we doing for community? What are we wanting to see different in our community?
What are some of those different things that you need to see in your community right now? Obviously, beyond the stuff that we've regressed on from before.
Resources. We've cut so much funding in Indianapolis, especially for minority communities. And being a mother, like we've cut so many resources for moms with CCDF vouchers that affects every mom because multiple daycares are shutting down. So multiple prices of all of the daycares are increasing. There's less resources for parents, there's less funding for families, all of those types of things, community activations.
What kinds of community activations would you like to see too? Like, not to like put you on the spot to make you get like real specific about it, but like what other ways should we be activating in our small communities?
Really events, funding, drives, voting. I'm trying to think now, like, a lot of things have to do with funding.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't have the funds to continue to put on community events because everything costs.
Yeah. I think that there's obviously an infinite amount of answers to this question, but like, what types of community events have you seen that specifically like drive change or drive further activation, momentum carrying that we could all like take back as an idea to spread in our communities? Like, can we put this together and make this work?
I'd say a lot of like lobby and legislation work is like direct change. So a lot of times like congressmen, elected officials, they won't do anything until they see like their constituents pissed off. So when we come together and when we do organize or we do protest or we do these types of things forward facing and get media, then they move faster when it comes to creating change or when it comes to voting on certain bills or voting on certain fundings and things like that.
Yeah. We mentioned Carla, mentioned future Mayor Hunley. Yeah. Anybody else that you're like riding for right now that you just want to shout out?
I met Patrick for sheriff.
Okay.
Carla, Andrea, Congressman Carson, good man. I interned for him, and he's open to change, and he's trying to get more funding for the city as well. I know he's been in his seat for a while, but he is trustworthy, and he has a good standing in DC, and they listen, and he's aligned with some good people there as well. I think you can call on people to speak up more, but I like him for us.
Okay. I like Congressman Carson too, friend of the show as well. I'm wondering how, like, clearly because like your first big hit or your first song really was, you know, like a protest song essentially, or like meant to be part of that. So directly, intricately intertwined in your community work with your creative work. Like, is that still the case? How do you balance and how do you like manage the way that those things intersect?
I would say pretty much all of my music is intentional, and I've moved away from advocacy music and more into mental health music because those things kind of coincide. Like I can't go out and protest if I'm not mentally right. I can't show up for my neighbor if I'm not mentally in the right space. So writing about my own challenges and trying to help people by making songs to help them get through life.
I love it. When did you notice that shift start to happen?
My second song I released, second or third. My second song was like Street Lights, I think. And that was just about kind of like mental health, like taking a break and escaping from your reality to take some time alone. Yeah.
Well, especially as somebody who does so many different things. Like you kind of need to take breaks, and it can be hard when you're utilizing every hour of the day, Mamba style, to get stuff done. Like, when do you fit in breaks? And like, I feel like that is triply impossible when you're also a parent.
Yeah.
So how do you like How do you manage all of that?
I
And
don't.
How do you?
I don't. I have some good people around me that help me manage life and schedules, and that's part of the reason why I'm back in Indianapolis is because I have family here that can help with the load of like if I have things to do and I need someone to watch my son, or if I need help with different things, and I have amazing team and amazing bandmates, amazing friends, amazing community that help like me navigate through life. Shout out to my friends in the building.
Shout out to the friends. Shout out to the community
And
that helps
family,
us
community.
make things happen. Has becoming a parent or has being a parent shifted the way that you, like your perspective on creating, whether it's like writing or producing or whatever the case might be?
Yeah, it's really hard to find time to create. It's so hard to find time to like write and do things. But I have so many more like feelings and emotions, like feelings that I didn't know I'd ever have. I think I'd be like a way better actress now because like I have so many emotions to pull into from going through pregnancy and postpartum, and the love you have for a kid is undescribable. So like all those feelings, insane.
Coming out of like after the birth of your son, was there ever a period where you were like, did you have to like take a break from creating, like in general? Like you just turn that part of your brain off and like, I'm going to be a parent now?
Right now. Still going through that right now. Yeah.
Okay. Still coming out of it. I like it.
Yes. It's a full time.
I've seen you out and about now. I saw you at, for Swish for the Final Four. Like you're out performing. You're about to be at Rev. So like you're, and I follow you on social media. So I see you're like, doing a lot of rehearsal. It seems like you're getting in the studio, doing a lot of creating right now. So you're finding the time. What has it been? Like, what's the biggest thing that you've like kind of learned about yourself as you've found yourself finding that time?
How much I care about music and what I do. Cause like, I don't have to do it. Like when I was having my son, I was like, do you really want to do this? Like, do you want to keep doing this? Like, what is driving you to do this? And what I learned was like, oh, like I really love this and I really need this. And like, it really hurts me if I don't write. Like you have to get your emotions and feelings out somehow. And like, if I don't get it out, like I go crazy. So
did you do any writing during pregnancy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything that we will see the light of day? Or is that all like, does it feel like it's like, this is stuff I want to keep close to the vest?
Both. Like
Okay.
one song is called Slow Down. And it's like taking care of myself gets so exhausting. Thought it was going well till I almost lost me. I've been doing the work so I don't go back there. And it's like feeling spinning, reality is settling in, mind is shifting, gravity is pulling me in. I know now I can slow down. And that's the song. And I released it while I was pregnant.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
I feel like I can't even I obviously didn't go through pregnancy. My wife did. But seeing like the journey that she had to go through, like I couldn't imagine like also being like, oh, I'm going to just make a song and put that out. I think that's amazing.
Thank you.
You talked a lot about how like you've had community around you, family around you, friends, the band, people to lift you up and affirm you. And we have a recurring segment on the show called Give Them Their Flowers, sponsored by Madeline McKinnon and Frida Flowers, where we ask our guests to shout out a person or persons they feel like deserve their flowers right now. So I wanted to ask you who you feel like deserve their flowers at this moment.
My dad definitely deserves his flowers back there. I love him. Jalen in the back, he's my drummer, music director, music console, all of the things. Noah deserves his flowers.
Noah in the front row. Shout out to Noah.
Samson, my friend, deserves his flowers as well. Sage deserves her flowers. She's also a new mom, and we went through pregnancy and kind of postpartum together and just learning how to navigate motherhood because we knew each other before becoming moms, and then like seeing each other transition like through motherhood. Like anyone who's a mom knows like that person you were before you were a mom is like gone. So like seeing that has been beautiful. Yeah. Then my girl Danny in the back as well deserves her flowers. Dandelion. Yeah.
I love it. I appreciate it. We started that segment real early on, and it just felt like I'm over here always trying to hype my guest up, and I'm like, I got to get them to be hyping people up. Because there's always people, like you said, there's always people in your life that sometimes the support goes unnoticed. And I think it's nice to just lift them up a little bit from time to time. Yeah. All right, well, we've already been chatting for 30 minutes, so I have a few rapid-fire questions that I want to ask you before we open it up to the audience.
Okay.
You recently had a placement with one of your songs, so I was wondering if there was a show or movie specifically that you'd love to have a placement on.
This one, it's going to sound funny, but I watched Ginny and Georgia on Netflix. And I've almost had a placement on that one, like so many times. Like they've been like, we really like this song for this, and it like last minute falls through. But I'm like, I really want one on there just because I love the scoring for that one. I like
it. Real quick before we move on to these other rapid fire questions, what is that process like to try and get placed on a show or a movie or something?
Man, it's so tedious. I've been doing it for probably 5 years now. Like when I moved to LA, we would have camps and days just to write for TV shows and movies. And you might make 5, 10, 15 songs from scratch because you don't use samples. Like you don't use the stuff on YouTube. Like you're making all the music from scratch and they never get picked up. And or you might change a song. Like I've had people call me and say like, oh, like, can you change the instrumental? And like a lot of my friends are full-time musicians there. So we might leave our jobs or have to stay up like till midnight for a deadline of like that day and write a new song or change a song or open up a verse in a song to do it. And just for them to be like, nope. Or they could be like, hey, we really like this song. Like we want to give you $10,000 for this song. What do you think? And you're like, yeah. And then last minute, they're like, actually, we're going to another direction. And you're like, man, I really needed that money. Rent's due. Yeah. So.
Is it like they're like, you just get us like, we need 5 songs for a romantic comedy, or like, this is like an office style show. Like we need music for that. Is it like that? Or
it's like a whole email of like trailer, Grey's Anatomy. We need a song with a big bridge. We need these keywords. We want you to say wind in the song, and we want the song to be no longer than 2 minutes, and we like some of them are very detailed of like, and you might make a song with all of those exact things just for nothing and never put it out.
So you have a lot of songs then that have not seen the light of day.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Who are you listening to right now that people should be tuned into?
I've been listening to a lot of Don Toliver. Also, this girl named Camille Blackman. I really have been liking her music.
Okay.
Natanya. She's like a London artist as well. Obviously, like Olivia Dean. I was listening to her before she was mainstream, though. For real. Like, her last album was better than her album. Her new album is good, but her last album was, like, really good.
Okay. Yeah. My wife is just getting into Olivia Dean, and I'm like, I'm coming around.
Yeah.
I like it. She good.
She's fire.
Coming from musically inclined family, I had to ask, if your family had a band, what would its band name be?
I don't know. My family is just so chill. Like they're like calm. Like they would not want to be, they don't want to be the center of attention. Like,
okay.
I don't even know.
Not even a band name.
Not even
we got a band name?
We got a band name, Dad or Uncle. 2 bros. Gents music. Yeah.
Gents music?
Yeah.
All right.
Gents
I like
music.
It. What do you got coming up?
Have Rev on Saturday. That'll be fun. Rev. It's a big fundraising event at the racetrack. Hoping to release some music throughout the summer. Have some songs loading. Have some shoots and campaigns that'll be coming out here soon with different brands. Some big brands here.
Okay. Making the most out of those hours.
Trying
Squeezing
to.
it in. Tay Mamba.
24.
Before we open it up, what else do you want people to know? What should people be thinking about right now? What words you got for them?
Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening. I would say make sure you guys take time for yourself, mindfulness. Take time to do things that you love at least once a week, whatever that is. It's okay to not answer the phone. It's okay to put your D&D on. It's okay to meditate and ground. Spend time in nature. It's when you can feel God the most. Feel the wind, feel the sun, feel the trees.
We're feeling the wind right now.
Yeah. So yeah. That's about it for me.
Taylor Hall, everybody.
Thank you guys.